Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a hidden economic war. It's a war being waged right now, silently, against American businesses. And the weapon of choice isn't bombs or bullets, it's stolen data. The target, our single most valuable asset, our innovation. Look, if you think I'm being dramatic, just listen to this. The director of the National Security Agency, the NSA, called this the greatest transfer of wealth in history. That's not a soundbite for the news. That is a direct, chilling warning from the very top of our intelligence community. And here's the price tag that goes with that warning. We're talking up to $600 billion every single year. That number is so big, it's hard to even wrap your head around. But it's not just money. It's jobs that disappear, businesses that shut their doors, and a direct hit to American prosperity. So, you might be wondering, is this just a bunch of random hackers? Well, the Department of Justice data tells a very different story. A staggering 80% of all economic espionage cases they prosecute, they all lead back to one place: China. This isn't just a few rogue actors. This is a coordinated state-sponsored campaign. So let's dig in a little deeper, because this isn't something that just started. We're looking at a relentless economic assault that's been going on for the better part of 3 decades. The numbers are just mind-blowing. Think about this. 1 out of every 5 American companies says they've had their intellectual property stolen by China just in the last year. The FBI is so overwhelmed, they're opening a new case related to this every 12 hours. And get this, the FBI director has gone on record saying China's hacking program is bigger than that of every other major nation combined. Let's be absolutely clear. What we're seeing here are not just isolated crimes. This is a deliberate, long-term national strategy. The goal is to leapfrog decades of American research and development by simply stealing the final product. Okay, so these statistics are pretty shocking, but what does this actually look like on the ground? Behind the numbers, there are real companies with real employees whose lives are turned upside down. Let's look at the true cost of this. First up, let's talk about a company called American Superconductor, or AMSC. They were a world leader in wind turbine technology. They were at the absolute top of their field. And then, overnight, everything changed. What happened? Their core software was stolen. And the fallout? It was catastrophic. AMSC's market value dropped by over $1 billion. Their stock crashed 84% in a single day. And worst of all, more than 700 Americans lost their jobs. And the real kicker? The company that stole their tech used it to become the #2 wind turbine manufacturer in the world. Now here's a name I'm sure you recognize: Cisco Systems. As one of the biggest names in network equipment, you can bet their technology was a massive target. And in this case, it wasn't just an idea that was stolen. Their core router source code was copied, literally word for word. This didn't just hurt Cisco, it helped create a massive global competitor, Huawei. And maybe even more frightening, it created huge national security risks by embedding compromised technology in critical infrastructure all over the world. Our third example comes from the chemical giant DuPont. This case is about the theft of an incredibly valuable and complex industrial trade secret. See, what was stolen here wasn't just a file on a computer. It was the result of a $20 million investment and decades of research. And in an instant, all that hard work, all that competitive advantage in a billion-dollar industry was just gone. And finally, we have a case that I guarantee hits a lot closer to home for pretty much everyone watching: the massive data breach at Equifax. This one was different. This wasn't about stealing corporate secrets. This was about stealing us. 4 members of China's military stole the private personal data of 147 million people. That's your name, your address, your social security number. It put nearly every adult in America at risk of identity theft and cost the company a staggering $1.4 billion to clean up. Now, as devastating as all those stories are, the threat is actually about to get exponentially worse. Why? Because the data that's being stolen right now, it's a ticking time bomb. There's a strategy, and it has a name: Harvest Now, Decrypt Later. It's terrifyingly simple. Adversaries are stealing enormous amounts of encrypted data right now. They can't read it yet.
but they're hoarding it, stockpiling it, just waiting for the day when a quantum computer is powerful enough to crack today's encryption wide open.
And here's why this is so urgent. The theft is happening today, right now. But experts are predicting that in just a few short years, quantum computers will be able to decrypt all of it. Every patent, every financial record, every single trade secret. The clock is absolutely ticking. Okay, but this isn't a completely hopeless situation. There is a defense. It requires a whole new way of thinking, but we can build an unbreakable vault that's ready for this quantum age. You see, for the longest time, we've thought about cybersecurity like a medieval castle. You build a big wall and a deep moat, right? But what happens when someone gets over the wall? They can run wild inside. That model is broken. The new model is called zero trust. It assumes nothing is safe. It's like a high-security building where you have to show your ID and prove you belong there at every single door you try to open. This new defense really stands on two pillars. First is something called post-quantum cryptography, or PQC. Think of this as the unbreakable material you build the vault out of. It uses a new kind of advanced math that even a powerful quantum computer can't solve. The second pillar is the zero-trust architecture we just talked about. That's the smart security system inside the vault, constantly checking everything and everyone, making it impossible for an intruder to move around. Now, adopting this kind of security, it's not just about protecting one company's bottom line. It's about something much, much bigger. It's about protecting our entire country's future. When we protect our innovation, we protect our whole economy. We safeguard our national security by keeping military tech safe. We protect American jobs, preventing what happened to those 700 people at AMSC. Ultimately, what this is really about is creating a future where our best and brightest can invent and create without fear, whether it's in healthcare, finance, or anywhere else. So yeah, the threats are very real, but the solutions are real too. Our entire future is built on our ability to innovate, and that future is only as safe as our will to defend it. So the question we all have to ask is, how are we going to choose to protect it?